Dixon High School. To some it's a sanctuary, to others it's a burden. But it was never so simple for the Mural 4. You see, to them, school was a resource, a place to learn, to grow, to teach, to experience new joys, love, passion, hard work, fun. But those joys were cut short, and in 2019, our school experienced what was to be one of the most heartbreaking years we could ever imagine. Oftentimes we find ourselves too caught up in the moment, focused on where we're going rather than where we aren't. You see, if we could simply take 1 second to look up and take in the beauty of the world around us, we'd find ourselves noticing the small details that hold the biggest stories. Every image tells a story, and the Remember mural is no exception. This mural was created by Colleen Noss and signifies the 3 students and 1 teacher who sadly passed away in 2019. And now it's more important than ever that these stories are carried on through all of us.
Jacob was an outdoorsy kind of guy, for sure. His family farmed, if I remember correctly, and so he was outside a lot.
Who are we here with?
Brian Dolan. I'm the superintendent of schools in Dixon.
Who are we here with?
My name is Colleen Schneider. I am Jacob Schneider's mom. Jake was born in October of 2021. He was the second boy in our family. He loved fishing and he loved the outdoors. He made a game out of swimming. He could make a game out of ping pong with 1 person. He just loved having fun. On April 1st, he and Kelby and 2 other friends were hiking near the ditch at our place in Dixon, and with our dog Ranger. And the couple of them were sitting on the bridge over the irrigation canal, and Ranger, our dog, stepped on the bridge, and unfortunately the bridge was electrified, and Unfortunately, the bridge was electrified and Ranger fell or jumped into the ditch.
So the boys jumped in to help get the dog out. While doing so, they both grabbed onto a bridge.
And when they reached up to hold on to the bridge so that they could drag him out, the bridge was electrified and they were electrocuted. The ambulance came and tried to revive the boys. Jake made it to Kaiser, where he passed at about 1 in the afternoon. He has a memorial bench in Davis and a memorial bench at Berryessa, where a number of people will hike and sit and watch the nature. Jake was at that spot the day before he passed away, so that has special meaning to us.
Jacob was only 17 years old when he passed. He was funny, kind, and athletic, similar to Samantha Bloom, who passed away later that year.
My name is Andy Bloom. I am Samantha's father.
I'm Nathan Bloom. Samantha was my sister.
Nobody should have to go through what she had to go through, and nobody should have to watch somebody go through it.
So she knew for years that she didn't have that long to live. And throughout the whole thing, she focused more on reassuring me and my other sister that everything will work out.
Samantha battled from a rare form of cancer, soft tissue sarcoma. She was diagnosed at a young age, but she didn't let that deter her. Samantha had a year of remission before the cancer was rediscovered, and at that point, both her and her family were made aware that the chances of survival were low.
I met Samantha first time, and she was probably 4 when her family moved in next door to us. And she had this like cotton candy, floofy hair. And I was just the sweetest kid you could find. Super, super sweet, innocent. And her younger sister, Kaylin, was a little bit of the rascal. And Sam was always trying to keep Kaylin in order and following the rules. they'd come on our porch for candies and Otter Pops and all that kind of stuff, and always so sweet and polite. And she had this just super caring heart. You just saw it from the beginning that, she wanted to take care of people.
Samantha was a fighter.
Sam was a fighter.
Appreciate the strength that a young kid can show and can demonstrate. That is, just an amazing way to lead.
Is this the first time you've walked outside your room?
No, this morning.
This morning you did?
Just as Jacob and Sam strengthened us and enlightened our days, Mr. Shawn was able to do so with hundreds of students. And not only did he help them, but he also helped his fellow teachers and anyone else in need.
Mr. Tutt, he was funny. He was sincere. He was passionate about his job, passionate about helping new teachers that were getting into it. He was serious. He was super duper proud of his kids. I'd say a third of every conversation we had was him celebrating the accomplishments that his kids had.
So I knew Mr. Tutt more as a teacher than as an individual, like just a friend or anything, but he was somebody who always had really good relationships with his students, and he was somebody who could see the good qualities in his students and like push them further in that direction.
He's also a really caring person, spent a lot of his time, donated a ton of time actually at school, doing things outside of hours that a lot of people don't know about, showing up at dances and doing various activities that he didn't have to do. Really a tremendously caring person, even though on the surface you might think he wasn't because of the sarcasm, but there was a lot of time he spent that people didn't really notice or see if they weren't paying attention to him being around all the time.
I remember the night the calls started coming in. He and his wife Carolyn had bought a home in Idaho, and they'd stay there during the summertime and go during holidays and sneak away when they could. So they were in 2 cars driving up to their home, and Mrs. Tutt was in front of Shawn, and somehow his car ended up swerving and rolling, and so he was killed in the crash. It was really shocking.
Oh man, I can't speak for his family. I know they loved him deeply, so I know that a tragic end like that has tons of unintended consequences. They didn't get the opportunity to say goodbye or to share a last thought or gratitude with his students. He was missed. They loved him. For me as a person, it just highlights that life is short.
It's always sad when someone who has such a big impact on your life is no longer in it, but it's important to learn something from the experiences of those who have passed. So with the loss of Samantha Bloom, Jacob Harmoses, Jacob Snyder, and Shawn Tutt, the lesson we learned is as follows.
And that the type of person we are every day can have an impact on the people around us, and that maybe always giving love, sharing kindness, and being a good guy.
We impact a lot more people than we realize in a lifetime.
We need good people. Sam was one of them.
Not to wait till tomorrow to do something or tell somebody something.
It's important not to give up.
I think of you all